Welcome back, boys and girls. We are in week 4 of our virtual learning. This week, we're working on lesson 18, describing connections between sentences and paragraphs. Our standard for this week is RI 8. Describe how sentences in a text are connected by cause and effect and sequence. Describe how paragraphs in a text are connected by cause and effect and sequence. Boys and girls, you will notice that we have some very familiar terms here. Just last week, in week 3, we talked about cause and effect. Before that, in week 2, we talked about sequence. Now we're going to see how sentences are connected using cause and effect and sequence. We're also going to see how paragraphs in a text are connected by using cause and effect and sequence. Our learning target, or our I can statement, is I can describe how ideas are connected. Our academic talk, or words that we will use throughout the text, are connection, cause, effect, sequence. Let's take a look at lesson 18. The learning target says, when you describe how ideas in sentences or paragraphs are connected, you will better understand what the author is trying to explain. Let's read. You know that a paragraph is a group of sentences. Paragraphs and sentences both contain ideas that connect to each other in some way. Sometimes the connection is a cause and effect relationship. A cause is the reason something happens. An effect is what happens as a result. Words such as because, so, as a result, and since often signal this kind of connection. Authors also connect sentences and paragraphs by showing that things happen in a sequence or in order. Look for signal words such as first, then, and finally in sentences to see how ideas and events in a sequence are connected. We're going to read a cartoon in just a minute to talk about sequence as well as cause and effect. But just for a minute, I want you to think about what would happen if you were to oversleep on a school day. That's right, you would be late for school. Think about the things you would miss at the beginning of a day if you were late for school. You would miss the morning announcements. You would miss our morning lesson. Why do you think we have to have things done in a certain way? That's right, boys and girls, we have to have order in our school day so that we will know what is coming next. That is our way of not being confused. So you see, we need sequence in order to keep things running smoothly. Now let's take a look at our cartoon. First, let's look at our bulleted thoughts. Authors use text structure like cause and effect and sequence to organize information. That's important. Readers can use signal words to identify the text structure. And now, read this cartoon. Think about how the ideas are connected. In the first frame, I'm hungry, but I'm too busy for a meal. In the second frame, cook. Make me something I can eat in a hurry. In the third frame, you see there, the cook has an idea. In the fourth frame, yum. Think for a minute, boys and girls, about how these ideas are connected. Remember, a cause is why something happens. An effect is what happens. And sequence describes the events in the order that they happen. Now let's think about that cartoon. Finish the chart to show two different ways the ideas in the cartoon are connected. Use the first chart to show a cause and effect connection. Use the second to show a sequence. Let's look at the first one, cause and effect. Why it happened is the cause. One day, the Earl of Sandwich was too busy to eat. That is why it happened. Now, what is the effect? What happened because the Earl of Sandwich was too busy to eat? That's right. He asked his cook to make something he could eat in a hurry. The cook put meat between two slices of bread. And that is how we got a sandwich. The cause was he was too busy to eat. The effect was he got a sandwich to eat, something quick. Let's take another look at the same cartoon, but this time we're going to look at it in a sequence. Boys and girls, let's think about what the first thing is that happened. First, the Earl of Sandwich was too busy to eat. Remember, first is a signal word in sequence. Another signal word we would use would be next. Next, he asked his cook to make something he could eat in a hurry. To talk about the last thing in our sequence, we could use the word finally. Finally, the cook put meat between slices of bread. That would be the sequence to go with our cartoon. Let's keep going. Time for a quick review. Remember that authors use text structure like cause and effect and sequence to organize information. Remember also that readers can use signal words to identify the text structure. All right, let's talk about what's coming up. In the next section, we'll read a science article to explore cause and effect relationships and the order in which things happen. Knowing what happened, why it happened, and when it happened will help you better understand the author's ideas. And now it's time for our exit ticket. What is your favorite sandwich? Describe the sequence of steps you take to make that sandwich. Explain what you do in each step. Remember, our exit ticket is in the link just below this video. Click on the link below this video to complete your exit ticket. Remember, you're going to write about your favorite sandwich. You're going to describe the sequence of steps that you would take to make that sandwich. Remember to use your signal words, boys and girls. Good luck!